Welcome to episode 6 of Ultimate Opinion with your boy Daniel, aka D Money. On this podcast, I intend to be subjective and transparent when giving my opinion on these topics. So, my audience, y'all know how your boy likes to look fresh and clean, sexy, yada yada. And y'all might be wondering why today I'm rocking the fake ass Steve Urkel slash fake ass Carlton Banks look. The reason why is because I had to school somebody today. Yes, on episode 6, it's the first episode where I have a guest. Unfortunately, this guest is somebody close to me. Uh, Throughout history, there's this thing called sibling rivalry. You have the Williams sister, Venus and Serena. You had the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli. I'm a sports guy. We all love sports. And coaching wise, you have the Harbaugh brothers, John and Jim. But today we got the Cobbles. Yeah, we got the Cobbles today. So I got a special guest today, my older brother, David. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell my audience a little bit about yourself and just why you are here today. Let them know why today we beefing.
Okay, thank you for that intro, Daniel.
Of course.
Of course, my name is David Cobble, nickname Deckman, DJ, D, whatever you want to say. Was born in April 1985. I'm the oldest, the responsible brother.
He tried to slide that shit in. He's silly.
And today he invited me on this podcast to talk about Marvel versus DC.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
He invited me to this podcast to discuss Marvel versus DC.
Yes.
Of course, I'm a DC guy. So,
yes.
and he's a Marvel guy. So
Yes.
we're going to see which one's better.
Yes. And today's episode, I know it's kind of split between people who love Marvel and people who love DC. We're not trying to persuade you guys. Of course, with my podcast, what I tend to do, I try to bring insight to what I'm talking about, to the topics. And I've always been a Marvel guy. That's one thing that David can agree. Like, we've always grown up in a house that's been divided. I think the only thing that we all agree on is U of L. When it come to U of L sports, I think me and my brothers, we also got a youngest one, Darius. He's gonna be on next month's episode. Y'all gonna like this one. And the only thing that I think we agree on is U of L sports. But when it comes to college sports, uh, and especially professional, and I will probably say MLB, you're a baseball guy, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
I grew up a Mark McGuire guy, of course.
Sammy Sosa.
And then Darius was a King Griffey Jr. So like like I said, I think when it comes to U of L, it's about the only sports that we agree on. And that's why I said we've always grew up in a house that's been divided. But today is about Marvel and DC. We're gonna give our opinions on, well, of course, of course, I'm gonna give my opinion on why Marvel tops DC in every fucking aspect. When it comes to movies, villains, characters, superheroes, and all that. But like I said, we're just gonna have a discussion and we're just going to uh like I said, just give our point of views on why I'm a Marvel guy and David's a DC guy. So since David's my first guest, I'm going to let him do the honors. I'm gonna be respectful today, and I'm gonna let David take the floor. And what we're gonna talk about first is top 5 grossing movies. So I've got my top 5 grossing Marvel movies, and David got his DC. So I'm gonna let him take the floor. Please don't fall asleep. I'm gonna let him give you guys the top 5 grossing DC movies. You got the floor, player.
Well, thank you for that, Daniel.
Of course.
So, of course, DC has a whole bunch of movies starting from 19 60s until the
Here
present.
we go.
But the top 5 highest grossing DC movies were Aquaman, The Dark Knight Rises.
Wait a minute. Now, do you, for our viewers out there, did you have like the years that these movies came out, or do you just got just the top 5?
I just got the top 5.
Okay, cool. Because I don't have the years for Marvel, so that's all I was asking. So you just
don't have the years?
Hell no, I just got the top 5 Marvel movies.
Do you have like the amounts that they was gross?
You already know that. Come on, man. Come on. This is my show. You know your boy came prepared.
So
I'll let your boy.
Before I was rudely interrupted.
No. I was just asking because I would just had to double check, because if you had the years, I was just gonna go back and do my research. So that's all. But just go. My bad, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna be good today. David, the flow's yours.
The top 5 highest grossing movies were Aquaman, The Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight, Joker, and Superman. That was the Superman back in the 1970s. Aquaman was the highest DC movie ever, having earned over $1 billion in the box office. That's billions with the B.
Okay.
After that was The Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight. That's also high ranked higher than that. With the special effects and the bright colors for Aquaman, I can also see why people really enjoyed it. It was part of the Snyderverse. And that's pretty much what I have for the highest growing movies. Now it's your turn.
Spoken like a DC fan. I mean, wow. So you only had one DC movie in the billions, right?
Actually, counting Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight, that's 3.
3, okay. Well, of course, if you guys are still awake, I'm gonna give my top 5 grossing Marvel movies. Of course, Marvel make the best movies. We all know that. We got Avengers Endgame, 2.79 billion worldwide. Can I interest you in that? Spider-Man, No Way Home, 1.92 billion. Can I interest you in that? Black Panther. Oh yes, Black Panther. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I seen Black Panther twice, and it was getting old to me. Like, I guess I didn't like the whole African thing with it, because what they was trying to do was, I seen some like video where some people was just trying to cross with coming to America. For one, Hakeem was not a superhero. He was a prince. T'Challa was a superhero. So let me just get that straight, black people, okay?
T'Challa. It's pronounced T'Challa.
T'Challa, whatever. Let me just tell that again, black people. Hakeem was a prince. T'Challa was the superhero. And I guess that's why that got on my nerves, the whole Black Panther thing. It was still a good-ass movie. Avengers, what is it? Infinity War, 2 billion. Can I interest you in that? Avengers, Age of Ultron, 1.4 billion. Again, David, can I interest you in that? Those are the top 5 grossing Marvel movies. All of them in the billions. Once again, I don't know why DC insists on making movies knowing damn well that they are not going to compete with Marvel. It's a tragedy. It's embarrassing. And the fact that DC makes it a point to want to compete with Marvel is, what's that word that Stephen A. like to say and Deraz? That's blasphemy. That is blasphemy. So once again, the top 5 grossing Marvel movies are Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Panthers, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Age of Ultron.
Daniel, can I ask the question since you asked me a question?
Of course. Come on now. This is an open dialogue. You can ask any type of question you want to, player. What's up?
Out of those 5 movies, how many have you seen?
Honestly, guys, I've probably seen 3. Cause I'm not gonna give it away. Later on in the show, I'm gonna let you guys know who my favorite Marvel person is of all time. But I will say out of those five grossing Marvel movies, I've probably seen three. And I
Oh,
probably got through them on DVD, just to be exact. Yes, I still work and yes, I still watch DVDs. Walmart, they got them for $20.
and what movies were they that you seen?
Black Panther, and probably both of the Avengers, to be exact.
Both of the Avengers, but you just said there was like what, 4 of them?
Let me do a double check. Let me do a double check because I don't want to. Because my audience, I love to be transparent with you guys. So I want to say Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, and then we got the Avengers Age of Ultron. But I've only got the Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. I want to say on DVD and Black Panther and the Spider Mans.
So you don't remember seeing Infinity War? I mean, the Age of Ultron.
Well, it might have been on YouTube.
Well, you don't remember going to the movies with us to see it on my bachelor party?
Oh, is that what we went to go see? I thought it was Fast and Furious.
So,
Yeah, I thought it was Fast and Furious. Man, we didn't go see Fast and Furious.
so you don't remember Age of Ultron, but yet that's one of your top grossing movies?
It's a grossing movie. Now, I'm not saying it's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
No. And now remember, and now don't try to be funny. We talked about the top 5 grossing Marvel movies.
That's
I didn't say Age of Ultron was one of my favorite movies. I talked about the top 5 grossing. Come on now, player.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah. So like, to be honest with you, I didn't care for it,
Oh,
and I can say that I said, yeah, that's some part of some Marvel movies I don't care about, but I'm just giving the facts. The facts speaks for itself, and that's one of the top 5 grossing Marvel movies.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, since I was first with the grossing movies, why don't you be first with the villains?
Why not? Yes, because one thing I like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was never a comic book guy. The Marvel movies, some of them I admit was good. Some of them I probably could do without. But one thing I like about Marvel's villains, and I feel like, for me personally, I like villains that are close and dear to that person. So my number one villain is Magneto from X-Men. To me, he was kind of like an anti-hero. Like him and Professor X, when it came to the mutant kind, they had an idea about how they should go about it, but they did it different ways. So if any of you guys watch wrestling and you've got a face, a villain, and a tweener. So a tweener is somebody that's in between, basically. Like they may give face promos, but they may give villain matches, which means they're in betweener. Like they're basically a face and a villain. And that's what Magneto really was. Like him and Professor X, they had like this beef. And like I said, because they both, when it came to mutants, they wanted them to take over in a different way. And that's and like when it comes to wrestling, I feel like Magneto would have been that perfect tweener. Like he could be a face, he could be a villain. Then I go to Eric Killmonger, who on Black Panther, who was a cousin to T'Challa. Of course, if you guys have watched Black Panther, you've seen his situation. Then I got Eddie Brock, Venom, on Spider-Man, who was a co-worker to Peter Parker at the newspaper and who faulted photos. And then you have Harry Osborn, who was the best friend of Peter Parker, New Goblin. And that's why with my villains, I like them to be personal because I feel like when a villain is personal to that person, it's much more deeper. The rival cuts more deep. You got Sandman and all these funny villains that to me, yeah, they're good villains, but I like my villains to be personal. I like them to be either related, best friends. somebody close to you that know you, and that the rival could cut deeper. And that's why my villains for Marvel are Magneto, Eric Killmonger, Eddie Brock, and Harry Osborn, because I feel like those guys were so personal with the, of course, I'm gonna use a wrestling term, with the face or the superheroes that they were rival or beefing against. Because I feel like with them being personal and knowing them personally, like that rival took it to a whole next level because they knew how to make it personal. They knew how to have that deep rival that you could be like, damn, like like this villain is an asshole type shit. So I like my villains to be personal. How about you, player? What DC villains do you are your favorite, David?
Well, of course, I'm a huge Batman fan, so most of the Batman Rogue Gallery, like Joker, Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler, they was cool. But out of them, Joker has to be my favorite one because in comic books he got three personalities.
Mm,
There's the comedic, the gangster,
mm.
and the anarchist. In fact, most of the movies they showed his persona. 1989, he was a gangster.
Look, just a trivia fact, that was the year I was born. And I've got some, when it comes to Michael Keaton playing that. You know what? Never mind. Keep on going. I don't want to get too personal with it, but go ahead.
Second
Go
time
ahead
you
then.
interrupt me, but okay.
Yeah. My bad. I just wanted to throw, that's when your boy's born, 1989. Us 89 babies. We 36. Whoop whoop whoop. All right, man. Keep on going. My bad. I apologize. My show, by the way.
1989, he was
Yes.
the gangster.
Yes.
1960s, he was like the comedic part. And then the Dark Knight, he was the anarchist, where he just wanted to see the world burn. Then my other villain, I really didn't care for Superman at all. But once I saw Smallville, the guy that played Lex Luthor, he was one of my top villains. So Joker, Lex Luthor. If I have to pick another one, probably have to be Darkseid. He has his own planet, Apocalypse. Try to kill Superman every chance he gets. Try to
Okay.
take over the Earth. So
Okay.
there you go.
Well, as you guys see, Marvel and DC. I mean, David, what would you? Okay, so we just talked about villains and the superheroes and the highest grossing movies, but if you were to say you was like an instructor and you was talking in front of class, who would you think got the best villains? Do you think DC or Marvel? Because I'm kind of torn, because I'm just like DC got some bangers when it comes to villains. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you got Joker, you got Riddler, you got Two-Face, you got Catwoman. I mean, and I'm just like, who would you say got the best villains?
I would have to say DC because with Marvel's villains, I really not that good at naming them and know who they are. I mean, of course, I know some of the X-Men villains, like you said, Magneto.
Well, and like I was saying, he's more, like I said, like a tweener, because like I said, if I feel like him and Professor X have that relationship, would Magneto really be a villain? Like, because like I said, they're both wanting mutants to take over the world, but they're just doing it in a different way, right?
Well, Professor X didn't want mutants to take over the world. He just wanted to be them for be accepted.
And that's what I mean. And that's what Magneto. And that's why I'm just like, Magneto really want the same thing too. Like, he just I guess did it in more of a rougher way. And that's why I'm just saying, like, I'm like I said, I'm not a DC guy. I've only gotten, of course, we're gonna get to this. I only got specific DC movies that I do like. But I mean, when it comes to the villains, like, yeah, I might have to lean towards DC because I mean that, like like I was saying, they got some bangers when it comes to villains. Like, damn, I mean, it's. I would just love to see like if they had the DC versus Marvel villains, who would actually win that? That would be dope to see if they actually came up with a movie like that. If y'all ever come up with a movie like that, it was my idea. I want to be compensated for that too.
I'm sure they probably thought of that years ago. but
I don't know.
never
I don't know, man. I haven't seen that no theater, no trailer on YouTube or nothing like that. Let me stop playing, y'all. But now we're going to move on to okay. We're in basketball season right now. We're in the NBA Finals. We have Oklahoma Thunder versus Indianapolis Pacers, and I when I was doing my research, I actually asked David like, once again, I'm a wrestling fan, so if you're a wrestling fan, you know that during Survivor Series, you always have a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Where it's five superstars. Most of the time, it's five good guys, so it's five bad guys. Of course, the NBA and the NCAA, but any basketball game, you got 5-on-5. So I asked David this question: if he was starting the NBA team slash WWE Survivor Series team, who would his starting five be? David, I'm gonna give you the floor. If today Vince McMahon came to you and was just like, David, Survivor Series, I need 5 DC characters, who would they be?
They will be Superman,
Okay.
Batman,
Okay.
The Flash,
Mhm.
Green Arrow, and Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
Superman with his super strength, speed, flight, can
Cool.
lift a whole continent
Ooh,
from
child.
Superman Returns.
Ooh, child. Can he said it again? My heartbeat. Good God.
Can lift up a continent with filled with kryptonite.
How about
His
a big
weak-
chick?
Can probably do that. too,
Okay,
while
I'm just on that. I'm not just saying no for them 240 shorties. Okay,
So
keep on going.
He would probably be the captain.
Okay, cool.
Flash, he can run faster than speed of light.
What?
Can even run back in time, change history, then come back to the present.
Okay.
Green Arrow, he can shoot arrows from yards away with precision
Yeah.
and hit his target right on mark. Cyborg, he can manipulate technology the way he sees fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Batman, he's just man.
He just had bats come out and stuff, don't he? When he come out the
can.
caves and all that.
Yeah, he can do
Bats
that.
come out. He got the nice mansion. Don't he got the Batmobile?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
Okay,
looks like you
respect.
know some DC history.
Unfortunately, I do, because just say I see every Batman movie with you, so I mean, just throwing that out there. But okay. So you got your starting five.
Yeah.
Well, your boy. If Vince McMahon came to me and was just like, Daniel, Survivor Series is coming up. I need you to start a starting five of Marvel. Who would it be? I'd be like, Vinnie Mac, I got you, player. I've got for the captain, Captain America, who wields a virtually indestructible shield. Then I got my man Tony Starks, aka Iron Man, who utilizes powered armor suit. I mean, you can shoot that MF all the time. Bing, 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 bing. Ain't nothing gonna happen to it. Then I got the young gun, the teenager, Spider-Man, who utilizes wrist-mounted web shooters. That means that if you try to get away, and what Peter Parker gonna do? Bing, bing, he gonna get you. And get you in them shooters, boy. Get you in them webs, boy. Y'all know how them spider webs be. Shoot, you know you hate We clean up your place, and you got them spider webs, and you gotta try to dust it out. No. Peter Parker gonna get you. Then I got Wolverine, retractable, animatuna. I guess how you say that. Animatanium claws.
Animatronic.
Is that how you say it?
Animatronic.
Animatronic. Are you sure? Okay, animatronic claws. Y'all know I have a Wolverine B. And last but not least, my man Nick Fury, a skilled military strategist. Through battle, you want somebody with military experience, military background that can be like, hey, you know what? This is how we should do it. This is how we should go in battle. This is how we should go into combat. That's my starting five. So once again, Captain America has the captain, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Nick Fury. If I had a starting five, those would be my top five guys that I would trust to hold it down for Marvel. Now, when doing this, I kind of struggled because I was just like, okay, I kind of struggled between if I wanted the Hulk or Captain America to be the captain, but then I was just like, you know what? The Hulk, he need to be tamed sometimes. And I feel like Captain America, you know, we're all citizens of America. Uh, and I just feel like Captain America would be a good captain if it was basketball or battle wise of the Curry Marvel. So those are my top five starting five Marvel people.
Not bad. Not bad.
Hell yeah, I mean, you know, it's a good squad. I don't know, and like I said, basketball wise, I don't know how that would go, but battle, oh, that would be ugly. I think that would be the damage that could be done, especially on land, would be horrific. It would just be ugly. Well, David, well, okay, well, you know, like I said, we got the grossing movies, we got our villains, we got our top, you know, our starting five. So, what was it? What was it that made you become a DC fan? And you can give any like superhero, any TV show, any movie. Like, what was it that made you be like, you know what? I am a DC guy. I don't plan on changing, and this is the squad I'm rolling with. What was it that made you become a DC person?
I don't know. This was mainly the artwork of DC,
Okay.
the storylines, like Superman. He's a alien from outer space.
Yeah.
His planet blew up. He's here on Earth by himself. Have to adapt to being a human. Then once he developed his powers, he can save it if he wanted to, or could destroy it
Okay.
if he wanted to. With Batman, he's seen his parents die in front of him. Wanted to, how can I put it? Wanted to save Gotham because he didn't want to see other civilians go where he goes. See, become like him. So he tried like fight crime, and just those two characters. I mean, Batman's human. You can shows that you can be human and have be a superhero, but also have to have money too.
Okay.
And most of the TV shows that I've seen, like Arrow, Flash, Superman and Lois, Lois and Clark, they just attracted me to be a DC fan.
Okay.
And I know Marvel had most of the movies, and DC came up behind them, but I still think DC's better.
Well, you give some good points. I'm gonna say the reason why I became a Marvel guy is if you guys remember during the 1990s on Saturday mornings, Fox Kids would do these animated shows. They did animated Spider Man, animated X Men, and that's what really had me become a Marvel guy. Like I was saying, guys, I never was a comic book guy. When it came to the video games or those Batman and all that, I was never really too fond of those. But it was just on Saturday mornings. Like I said, if you're a millennial, you know firsthand that Fox Kids at one time in the like I said, in the early to mid 1990s had Fox Kids, where in the mornings they would show Marvel TV shows. And like I was saying, seeing Spider Man and X Men, that really fascinated me with uh Marvel. Uh, with the storylines and then the different characters. And it was just something like something about your childhood that that you don't forget. It's almost just like how Forrest Gump said. You don't remember being born. You don't remember your first birthday, but there is certain things as a kid that that you remember. And like I said, just Saturday mornings, like I said, waking up, turning on Fox, and seeing, like I said, these TV shows that were animated. It really was just like, okay, it's a Marvel. This is really dope, and that's what really made me be a Marvel guy just because of Fox Kids. And I appreciate what it did for our generation because now, unfortunately, the generation after us really didn't have no cartoons on the weekends to tune into, and that just kind of sucks because, like I was saying, our generation we had so many cartoons. There was superheroes, there was comedies. We just had so many cartoons that we could tune into, and that's what really fueled my interest in being a Marvel guy is Fox Kids, and I got so much appreciation for that. Every now and then, I do on YouTube check out episodes of that. I do go back sometimes and check out the animated X Men, the animated Spider Man, just to be like, man, back in the '90s, this is when animation was animation. This is when we had these good superhero shows. So that's what really sparked my interest and made me become a Marvel guy. And also, David, but do you? Okay, I know you're a DC guy, but by any chance, because I got my own, and I just want to see what you do. You have any favorite Marvel movies, or do you have like Marvel movies that you like? Do you have like a specific like? Do you have like a couple of them, or a few of them, or is it just one Marvel movie that you can watch every day without no hesitation?
It'll have to be Iron Man. Maybe Iron Man 1 and 2. Those are like, if I have to pick a Marvel movie, those will be my top two that I can watch every day.
And now, what is about Iron Man?
Well, it's almost like a Bruce Wayne. Rich. He's smart. He can, like he said, have technology, can make up his own suit out of scraps, and just the smartest man on the planet. But yeah, I have to be Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
Okay. I must admit, I know earlier in the show I gave a lot of BS about how and I mean David may agree or not, but Marvel do tend to make the best movies. But I must say, like my favorite, I got a few favorite DC movies that I can watch every day. Uh, I know this might be controversial.
I think I know where this is going.
No, 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 no. It's not even about Batman, Bruce Wayne, none of that. That's later on. So Joker. Oh, people look at me sideways when I'm just like, to me, Jared Leto played the best Joker. I know that may sound kind of crazy and like what? Jared Leto is my favorite Joker. But I can watch the Joker with how you say his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. That's one of my favorite movies. Of course, Aquaman, because Jason Momoa is just a beast. He's like the Roman Reigns of actors. And don't get me started on Birds of Prey. Oh my God. Birds of Prey, you had Journey Smollett, Margot Ruby, Rosie Perez. To me, Birds of Prey, that's my favorite DC movie. One, you can say because I feel like it was female empowerment, but man, the fact that they had some gorgeous women in that movie, like Birds of Prey is one of those movies that I can watch over and over again with Joker. But like I said, even with Jared Leto being my favorite Joker, I still got respect for how you say his name again?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin. So the J silent.
Yeah.
Okay, Joaquin Phoenix. Because like I like Joaquin. I know this is kind of going off subject. I like Joaquin when he played Johnny Cash and Walk the Line. But seeing him playing Joker and how mentally unstable he was like badass. And like I think and I don't know if you agree or not, but I feel like he was underrated in that movie. Like he don't get a lot of praise for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, don't you see like that really should have been nominated? Now I know that when you're a diehard DC fan, but I know it's probably some. I know people are gonna say, and they're gonna fight me tooth and nail with this. I know Heath Ledger is probably the best Joker ever. I'm not gonna argue that. Are you gonna argue that?
I wouldn't say ever. I say he's one of the greatest.
Okay.
Because that's how Joaquin took like
And
his form. Because it's kind of a mix between. Well, he just took part from Heath Ledger.
he
but
he
made it his
did,
own.
but I just kind of feel like that he don't get the recognition that like because I don't even know, and of course, guys, go back and double check. But be me being a movie guy, I don't even know if Joaquin Phoenix was even nominated for an Oscar for that role. I like to, and guys, and please go back and double check. But if I'm being for certain, I don't think he was ever nominated for an Oscar for that.
Not really
Where of
sure.
course Heath Ledger was.
Yes.
And that's why I'm just like Heath Ledger played, and that's why I want people to realize Heath Ledger played the psychotic Joker, or the Joker that could kill without that. Where Joaquin played the mentally unstable Joker, where whenever he was in situations that he was uncomfortable about, he would laugh. People not knowing that in mental illness, like some people, like when they're nervous and uncomfortable, they laugh. Uh, but he would have these delusions, and like we only seen Heath Ledger play the psychotic, crazy, psycho Joker, where Joaquin Phoenix played the mentally unstable, where he went in detail about mental health and about what people go through when they're schizophrenic, bipolar. And that's why I'm just like, and that's where like I feel like that he don't get a lot of respect when it comes to the role he played, because I'm just like, he played a hell of a Joker that is okay. This is what Joker is.
Yeah.
And like I said, with you being a DC guy, I just didn't know if you felt like, because I know a lot of people I talk to, oh, it's Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. I'm just like, yes, Heath Ledger played a good psychotic Joker, but Joaquin Phoenix played a mentally unstable Joker, which is more believable.
Thing is, with Heath Ledger, I think he was RA Joker, and through the Dark Knight, he throws out stories of how he had his stars. I think his scars. I think he had like 2 versions of it, how he cut his own face.
Mm-hmm.
But with Joaquin Phoenix, it's like the development of Joker.
And that's to me is much more impactful, because you see where he came from. Like, he had a mom that he lived with, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and then this relationship that he thought he was in, but he really was. And that's why I'm just like Dark Knight. Like I said, Dark Knight is a good DC movie. I love it. But I'm just like, I think with Joker, with the way Joaquin Phoenix played it, it went more detail in Joker's personal life than it did with Heath Ledger when he was in Dark Knight, where it's just so okay, you got this crazy guy that's just psychotic. Like, what was the one about the whole pencil? I mean, like, how did you get to this point where you seen with Joaquin Phoenix? Okay, he's mentally unstable. Like, this is a guy that's mentally sick, and that's where like I feel like a lot and like I said, I just wish he was nominated for that role because, and like I said, Joaquin Phoenix is a tremendous actor. Like I said, I love the man walking the line with Johnny Cash. If you guys get a chance, check that out. But Joker is to me his finest because once again, I feel like just like how Jack Nicholson told Heath Ledger, and you have to go to a dark place. I feel like not Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix also had to go to a dark place to get that curtain, the development. Because I mean, so we're not actors, but I'm assuming to play certain roles, you have to go into that character. You had to be like, okay, I'm playing this dark person, this dark character, so I have to do things to get in the character. And I feel like Joaquin Phoenix don't get the love and the respect that Jack Nicholson and that Heath Ledger got that's playing Joker. So I just wanted that, put that tidbit in that, when it comes to DC movies, like I said, Birds of Prey, Aquaman, and Joker are my favorites. Um, Also, David, like, what's your favorite DC character of all time? If you had to choose, I think I know the answer, and I think look, and I think he's pretty much representing it. But I mean, if you had to choose, who is your favorite DC character of all time?
Well, of course,
Uh-huh.
Batman.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, there was a show, Batman from the 1960s, that came out. It was a rerun. And when I see Bruce Wayne run into his library, flipping Shakespeare's head, flipping the switch, behind the bookcase was like an access to the Batcave. Him and his ward, Dick Grayson, slide down the poles. All of a sudden, like that, turn to Batman Robin, jump in the Batmobile, boom. That really
It's
got
brilliant,
my
and he's giving the whole enchilada, boy. And it's just so boy, like that he did all that because I admit I never really watched that Batman, so I'm like he did all that.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
That's the thing that made me be hooked on Batman. Plus,
Okay.
he's rich. He can figure out plans on how to destroy, well, not destroy a person, but to fight from and fight a person.
Yeah.
And his rogue gallery like Joker, Riddler, Two Face, Catwoman, Penguin. It's plus, I don't know. He's just rich, and I wish be honest. I wish I was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and you want to be the Black Bruce Wayne, don't you?
Yeah. Have the money, the cars, the women.
I feel that, yeah. That Batmobile was dope. I can't even lie, but I know I probably shouldn't be asking this because I mean, of course, I know this answer to this, but when it comes to the movies, who is your favorite Bruce Wayne?
Has to be Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he wasn't the playboy kind, but you can tell that he's like was going to develop to be the playboy. And then the bat suit, Batmobile, the Joker that was in there that he fought, Catwoman and Penguin. Just wish they had a third one, but that was like the WB, and we wouldn't get into all that. But I have to say Michael Keaton, and then after that it'll be Christian Bale. He's the one that showed the playboy persona, and then it's a tie between Pattinson Robert Pattinson.
Please don't say Ben Affleck. Please don't say that.
I mean, I gotta say Ben Affleck.
Oh my God, this dude said Ben. Okay. Now I'm gonna. Okay, George Clooney is my favorite. George Clooney, of course, got the swag. He could do the playboy part, but get this. In Batman and Robin, did you ever see him with a female? I'll wait.
See who with a female.
George Clooney, when he played Bruce Wayne, did you see him in Batman and Robin ever with a female?
George Clooney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, was some girl that wanted to marry him or wanted him to settle down.
That was a matter of 5 minutes. That was mad.
But that was still a woman.
George Clooney, to me, personified what Bruce Wayne was. He had swag. He had charisma. I'm not going to say he had the gift of gab because for some reason Dick Grayson wouldn't want to listen to whatever. Dick Grayson was played by Chris O'Donnell, by the way, which is another good actor. And for some reason, he just didn't want to listen to Bruce Wayne for nothing. Like, this dude was hard-headed. Like, his head was like this. I mean, this dude didn't want to listen for nothing. Then, of course, you had Alicia Silverstone playing Batgirl. And you had beautiful Vivica Fox playing. She was one of the Frozen girls. She
she only had like a minute.
Yeah. Well, they did Vivica dirty, but they know they could have did. Was they stitching about Frankie off for Set It Off? They must have been because I'm just like they know they could have gave Vivica a bigger part. And then of course you had my man Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman playing Poison Ivy. So like, I've always went down like. There's only a select few of us, which is crazy, that has George Clooney. Because, of course, everybody say Michael Keaton, Christian Bale. I feel like, and David, once again, and you can agree or disagree, I feel like for whoever was directing those Batman movies, any actor would have been good. Like, okay, I feel like George Clooney got snubbed because the director that was directing that Batman and Robin, right?
Correct.
Because I mean, because let's be for real. If Michael Keaton was in Batman and Robin, would he have been like everyone's favorite Bruce Wayne if that director? Because you gotta look at it. For all these Batman movies, it was different directors, right? Mm-hmm. So Michael Keaton was fortunate enough to have good directors. Val Kilmer, George Clooney, I'm gonna say Ben Affleck. Those guys didn't really have those directors that Michael Keaton and Christian Bale have, right?
No.
So once again, like they was only given what they could work with.
I guess, but still.
But I'm just saying, like, who? Okay, so when Michael Keaton, okay, because I'm not going to talk about Christopher Nolan because we know Christopher Nolan can make anybody shit. He can mess around and have Bill Murray looking like a good Bruce Wayne. But I'm just saying, okay, no, and no shit at Bill Murray. But I'm just using that as an example. Like, Christopher Nolan is a good ass director. Now, who directed the first two Batmans that Michael Keaton was in?
Tim Burton.
Okay. Tim Burton also did Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's why, trivia fact, that's why Paul Reubens was in Batman Returns because him and Tim Burton had a relationship. Did you know that? Yeah. So, and that's what I'm just saying. Okay, so imagine if Tim Burton would have worked with George Clooney. How that could have been. Once again, if Christopher Nolan would have... I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love Batman and Robin, but if somebody had a gun to my head and told me who directed that movie, I couldn't tell you. I'm being honest with you. I couldn't tell you. David, do you know?
Joel Schumacher.
Who's that?
The guy that directed Batman, Robin, and Batman Forever.
which was Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Mic drop. So once again, I feel like Val Kilmer and George Clooney should get a pass because they were their scripts was under what's his name? Joe what?
Schumacher.
Schumacher. Now compare him to Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan. I'll wait. So once again, I see why Michael Keaton is seen as one of the greatest Bruce Waynes, but like I was saying, George Clooney didn't have a chance in hell. I mean, the director he had could only work with. I mean, and I would say he tried. Like he tried to get Arnold Schwarzenegger, Uma Thurman, and this is the guys. I mean, this is the actor and actress that was bigger than George Clooney. Because just think, once again, I'm a George Clooney guy. Batman and Robin wasn't gonna be George Clooney's big. That wasn't gonna be his big break. It was a movie Out of Sight that he did a year later with Jennifer Lopez. But I'm just saying once again, even with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman, George Clooney still didn't have a chance. So that's why I'm just saying like he has to get a bye because look at the director he was under.
I mean, that's your opinion.
That's
So.
and that's my opinion. But I'm gonna say my favorite Marvel character is Spider Man, because I I love the underdog stories. You had a high school geek who was wearing glasses like Ease that somehow got bit by the spider and became a superhero. And the fact that he was crazy about Mary Jane, and she didn't really know. I'm gonna say Mary Jane played hard to get. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she did. But she made Peter wait a little bit. Do his thing, whatever. But overall, like I said, I love to see the geek, the underdog, uh, come up and like make a difference, and that's why I feel like Peter Parker did, even with his the way he was grew up. He had what is his aunt and uncle, right? That basically raised him,
Yep.
and like that's really not really ordinary. Where Bruce Wayne, his parents was killed, where you never really get like about what happened to Peter Parker's parents, right? Like, did they? I
It's just different variations. Like
there,
different directors have their version
yeah.
of how Peter's
Mhm.
parents was killed, and
And that's what I like the fact that he wasn't raised by grandparents, he wasn't in foster care. It was literally his aunt uncle that took him in, and like I said, this was just his ordinary teenager, and like I said, this geeky teenager, and the fact, like I said, he got bit by a spider one day. He had muscles, and he became this spider, and he became this hero to basically, New York, and New York is where he was raised and where he fought crime at. And that's my favorite Marvel superhero of all time. I feel like Marvel movies, they has a time went on. I'm not gonna say they're cheesy, but oh my god, the last Marvel movie I seen, oh my goodness, maybe might have been the Avengers, might have been. Oh, but overall, they do put on good movies. Like I was saying, DC got the villains, and of course the 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 better women villains and all that good stuff. But yeah, Is there one movie that you want to star in ever? If they was making a remake, would there be any like DC movie you would want to do?
Hmm. Probably want to be like in I say a Superman movie.
Superman movie?
Yeah.
What with a cape and all that, or just
I mean, not a cape. Maybe not even be Superman. Maybe
okay?
like in the office, so I can
It's
be the one
the
that.
Office, boy.
No, I'll be the one
This
that could figure
man.
out who Superman really is.
I thought you was talking about some Steve Carell stuff, boy. This dude said The Office, boy. I was just like, wait a minute. So you want to be Inspector Gadget, basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
be like the detective,
Okay.
and somehow they
Alright,
recruit me to
okay. Cool.
be
Okay.
part of the
Respect.
Justice League or something.
Boy, I would want to be. Look, put me in either Black Panther, Spider Man, and that's you know what. That's for because I want to play the villain. I think I would want to be MJ's love thing. You know what I mean? Let me be the villain. You know, I don't even want to work in the newspaper industry. What Peter Parker did. Nah, man, let your boy be. You know, since I'm in the politics, you know, like a city councilman or something. You know, I'm running for office. You know, MJ is down there. You know, me sliding my literature and all that. And then we start a thing. But just think, I'm a villain though. She don't know that I'm really trying to take over the city. But in Black Panther, boy, I don't know because Black Panther. Damn, Michael B did his thing. I ain't gonna even lie, boy. Michael B did his thing, man. Eric Killmonger, boy. Man, you know what? Could I be like his sidekick and get his left, and get his leftovers? I think I could. I can't even lie. I think I could because because remember he had that girlfriend, right? She was cold, boy. She didn't have a name, did she?
No,
Yeah, she didn't have
but
a
we
name.
even had a part.
Nah, boy, she maybe said 2 words. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I'd have started a movie, it'd be either Spider Man or Black Panther. Where I would just want to be toxic. I ain't gonna lie, your boy would just want to be toxic, try to mess up somebody's relationship. Then at the end, maybe convert, be a good guy, get killed or something like that. I don't know. Maybe give MJ a baby. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know I would want to just be toxic, and I would want to bring. I'm not gonna say a comedic side to it because it would be funny, but just a side like, damn, what y'all doing this in Marvel now? Shit, y'all got MJ got a side dude, and that Eric Killmonger just letting his sidekick do whatever. That's what I would want to do. But yeah, like I was saying, Spider Man and Black Panther would definitely be one of the reboots I would want to do. But yeah, D. But what's your final thoughts when it comes to DC? Like, what is your appreciation for it? I mean, is there anything that who is it that what the comic books for DC? Who was it?
Well, they got like different artists
Okay,
for these DC,
yeah,
but I don't know. It's just the characters, their backstories, the
yeah.
development. That's that's what I love about DC.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly the backstories and seeing how they become heroes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with Marvel, it's a little bit of everything. And like I said, I love the mutant side of it. Of course, the movies. Uh, and like I said, I know the villains I gave, like I said, they were personal to me and personal to the rivals. But I would definitely uh I definitely got appreciation for life, and I just love all the animated shows. Like I was saying earlier, I still go back to YouTube and watch some of the old animated X Men, animated Spider Man, because those shows like I said, the plot was, and it was weekly. You know, you ain't got these movies that come out every 3 4 years. These was week, like every week. It was just like, oh man, what's gonna happen next week type stuff. So that's my appreciation for it. And just the love for superheroes, right? And of course, and you guys know I'm all about the dramatics, right? Y'all know I'm dramatic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, like, why would I not want to represent my squad today? Y'all know I got the Carlton Banks, the Steve Urkel look, but let's be for real. Do y'all really think I would come to my show and not represent my squad? Not today. Come on now. Here we go, right here. I got appreciation for Marvel. Come on now. Now, why would I not come to my own show and not represent? I don't do that. I do not do that. So, gotta represent, hope y'all get a good look at that. Y'all don't know none of the table of content, just Google it. Google is be your best friend today. But
I have a final question. Can you name all those characters?
no, I can't. I ain't gonna even lie. What I'm gonna have to do, what I'm going to do is take a picture of the shirt and then go to Google. Because I said, ain't no problem with going to Google, y'all. Come on down. Google is our best friend today. Without Google, I don't think nobody could function. So I went to go to Google and probably do at least the last 10. I couldn't even lie to y'all. I probably at least have to do the last 10. Why? Did you want this shirt?
No, I'm trying to see.
Okay.
All right, name the.
I can't. Bro, you trying to put me on the spot, boy. Kaylee, ain't that son? You trying to put me on the spot. You trying to be funny. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I really appreciate my oldest brother Dave being here today. Uh, like I said, he gave some good insight about DC. Hopefully, you guys please. Oh my! If y'all guys fell asleep, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be so pissed off if y'all fell asleep on him giving DC points because it was some good stuff. I was just like, geez, I learned some stuff. Uh, but I do appreciate him being my first guest. Uh, and him, like I said, giving insight to DC, their villains, their characters, and all that. Like I said, with this podcast, I want to be entertaining. I want to be fun. I want to be informative, and it's all pop culture. No funny stuff, nothing like that. Um, when giving my opinion on these topics, it's my opinion and my opinion alone. Of course, I would love to hear from you guys, and more importantly, hear your opinion. Of course, you can like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm your boy Daniel, aka D Money. And until next time, be blessed. I'm out.